Welcome back to Nexus Tech. Today, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to connect the dots on some massive forces shaping our world, all by looking at just one single day in the near future. Sometimes to see the big picture, you've got to zoom way in. So that's what we're going to do. We're taking a look at 5 announcements that, on the surface, seem totally random, but they all happen on the same day, November 3rd, 2025. And together they tell this incredible story about where we're all headed.
All right, let's just dive right in. The first major trend we're seeing is, well, it's a huge one. It's how AI is evolving from a simple assistant that just takes orders to a truly autonomous agent that actually takes action.
So picture this. GitHub's Big Universe 2025 conference. They get on stage and drop this bombshell of a concept they're calling Agentic Development. And look, this isn't just another feature or a cool update. No, this is them fundamentally rethinking the entire way we build software.
And this really gets to the heart of the shift. Think about it. We're moving from an AI assistant, kind of like a helpful co-pilot sitting next to you, to an AI agent. That's more like an entire autonomous development team you can hire. It's not just suggesting the next line of code anymore. We're talking about an AI that can execute whole projects, all the way from planning to the final review.
And the crazy thing is, this isn't just some far-off vision. GitHub is actually shipping the tools to make this happen right now. You've got an Agent HQ to manage a whole team of AIs, a plan mode right inside your editor for AI-driven work, and even a copilot that's smart enough to do its own code reviews. They are literally building the toolkit for this new agent-driven future.
Okay, but this whole push towards autonomy, it isn't just for writing code. Not even close. The exact same trend is showing up in one of the most complex, most regulated fields imaginable, medicine. And it's poised to completely revolutionize how we diagnose diseases.
So, check this out. A company called Co-Diagnostics announced they've plugged AI right into their molecular diagnostics platform. What does that mean? It means an AI is now designing and optimizing super accurate PCR tests, all on its own, on a secure cloud. I mean, this is a huge leap from people doing it manually to intelligent, automated discovery. And it's not a future thing. It's happening today.
But here's where this story takes a turn, because while our tools are getting smarter, more autonomous, the very foundations they're all built on, well, they're under attack in a way we've never seen before, and it's deeply, deeply dangerous. So on the very same day, the cybersecurity world is just reeling. Why? Because of a massive flaw in Microsoft's Windows Server Update Services, WSUS. This is the tool that thousands of companies rely on to keep their systems secure with patches. And now, the very thing that's supposed to protect them has become their single biggest threat. The irony is just, wow, it's staggering.
So what's the big deal? Here's the crucial part. This flaw lets an attacker, anyone from anywhere on the internet, take total control of a server. They don't need a password, they don't need to trick a user into clicking anything. It's basically a skeleton key that unlocks the front door to the heart of corporate networks.
And this timeline, it just shows you the terrifying speed of this stuff. A vulnerability gets found. The first patch they try, it fails. A few days later, they rush out an emergency fix. But by then, government agencies are already sounding the alarm bells. And you know why? Because the bad guys are already out there in the wild actively using this thing to steal data. It's a race, and we're losing.
And when you look at the technical details, it's basically the worst case scenario. It can be hit remotely, it's unauthenticated, which just means the attacker doesn't need a password. And yeah, it's wormable. That means it can spread all by itself, from server to server, like a digital plague. This is exactly the kind of thing that gives security experts nightmares.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit, because this one day also showed us these deep, fundamental shifts happening, not just in security, but at the very core of how we build software and even understand science. People are starting to question the basic rules we all thought were set in stone.
So in the Linux world, November 3rd was also the day Devuan 6.0 was released. And this might sound niche, but it points to this really deep philosophical divide about the right way to build things. You've got giants like Debian becoming more complex, more integrated with these big monolithic tools, and then you have projects like Devuan pushing back, saying, no, let's keep things modular, flexible, and let's give the user a choice.
And don't mistake this for just some side project for a few hobbyists. This is a dedicated community that has been at this for a decade. They're fighting for a totally different vision for the foundation of an operating system,
one where simplicity and choice win out over being forced into one giant, complex system.
Okay, now we're going to jump from the rules of software to the rules of physics itself. Because on this very same day, there was an announcement that challenges what we thought was even possible. Physicists in Warsaw announced a major breakthrough with this bizarre quantum effect called super radiance. The best way to think about it is like a choir of atoms. Individually, they can each sing a note. But when they all sing together in perfect sync, they release this massive burst of light that's way, way more powerful than just adding up their individual voices. So what they figured out is, by throwing quantum entanglement into the mix, they could amplify this effect even more. And the things this could lead to, I mean, it is straight out of science fiction. We're talking about quantum batteries that could charge in a blink of an eye, sensors with unbelievable precision, entirely new ways for us to communicate. It's mind-bending stuff. But you knew there was a but coming, right? Especially with quantum physics. Here's the catch. To get this amazing effect to work, they need a magnetic field that's about 35 times stronger than a hospital MRI machine. So yeah, it's a pretty powerful reminder that there's often a very, very long road between an incredible discovery in a lab and something you can actually use in the real world. So if you want to keep connecting the dots on stories just like these and really understand the big picture, well, make sure you're subscribed. Seriously, it helps us keep digging into this stuff every single week, and we'd love to have you along for the ride. Okay, so let's zoom back out. After all that, AI agents, critical vulnerabilities, philosophical divides, quantum breakthroughs, what does this one single day in November 2025 really tell us?
Well, it reveals this absolutely stunning split. On one track, we are just rocketing into this future of autonomous AI and science that feels like magic. But at the exact same time, that whole future is being built on a digital foundation that's dangerously, terrifyingly fragile. And it leaves us with this one massive question we all have to think about. As our technology gets exponentially more powerful, is our wisdom keeping up? Something to think about. Thanks for watching.